Hello, hello. Welcome to our monthly Ask Me Anything call. Thank you so much for being here today. All right, for those of you who are new or don't know who I am, I'm Sage Grayson, and I'm a former book editor turned life coach. I help ambitious career women edit their habits, routines, and mindsets to balance their happiness at work and home. So I'm a life editor, and so are you. So welcome. This is our monthly Ask Me Anything call, and on these calls, I let you ask me really any questions you have about your life, your business, motivation, life editing, or anything that's going on in your current situation. Hi, I see everyone joining. Thanks for being here. So this is a very special Ask Me Anything call, as you can see. So it's spring. At least it's spring for those of us in the northern hemisphere. we're definitely enjoying the warmer weather, the sunshine, the flowers, all of that good stuff. So because it's spring, and because we're talking about fresh starts and doing something new, trying something new, that's really what life editing is all about. I decided to edit my setup a little bit. So I'm actually on the other side of my office. So when you normally see these Ask Me Anything videos, I'm over there. I'm on the other side of the room where I have my like wacky kind of geometric like print painting up behind me. But now I've turned and I'm kind of on the other side of my office. So you can see my pink couch behind me. I know you've seen my pink couch like in my videos before. This is just my beautiful office that I get to work in every single day. I had a videographer in here a few months ago, and when she came in, she like looked at my office and she was like, whoa. And I get it. It's like, it's very pink. It's very yellow. It kind of looks like a 12-year-old's bedroom, maybe a little bit. I don't know, but it makes me happy. It's definitely on brand for my business. So this is what motivates me to do my work every day. I get to like look at my beautiful office. So today, because it's spring, we're having a spring cleaning version of our usual monthly Ask Me Anything calls. So what that means is today, I'm going to, again, answer the questions. Any questions that you have during today's call, type them into the question box or the comment box, and I will answer them during the call, or I will answer them after the call if you're watching this later. And then some of you have already sent in your questions ahead of time. Thank you. So I'm going to answer your normal questions, but the special thing we're going to do is at the beginning, I want to help you design your fresh start plan. So this is going to be your fresh start for spring. You're a little flower and you are blooming up out of the dirt. That's where we're at right now. So we're going to go through the 5 steps of the life editing process. And for each step of the process, I'm going to give you a fresh start edit that you can make in either your life or your business. So this way you're going to have something to do that will help you clean up your life, feel like you're starting fresh and new, like you're blooming where you're planted, just in time for spring. So before we dive into that, please make sure you have a notebook or your planner. Your planners, yes. Make sure you have something to write on today because I don't want you to miss any of the good material that we're going over. Okay, so let's get right into your spring cleaning, fresh start, life editing plan. So I know we've gotten a bunch of new people lately on my social media accounts and in my subscriber list through my blog. So hi, welcome new people. Let's go over the life editing process as we make your fresh start plan. Because, you know, I think there's some people who just kind of need to know what life editing is. And for those of you who are really experienced life editors, like, admit it, you could always use a little refresher. I mean, that's the same thing that I do. I go through the 5 steps over and over and over again, at least once a quarter, just to see where everything is and make sure I'm actually heading towards the right goals. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you my best tips for spring cleaning your life and business as we go through the steps in the life editing process. So let's start with step 1. So step 1 of the life editing process is create a gratitude foundation. And what this means is being happy with what you've got right where you're at right now. So when I was a book editor and I would get a manuscript and it would be terrible and I'd be like, oh, I've got to clean up this rotten manuscript, I would always look for what's the good in it. What's actually working for it? What's keeping it stable? Where's the structure in there? So you got to do that for your life. So in terms of how you can build up and create your gratitude foundation this spring, for your life, the fresh start edit I want you to make is to get a fresh or brand new gratitude journal. And here's why. If you're like me, and you're a life editor, of course you are, you're a little type A, you really like office supplies, you want things to be exciting and fun, and when we have office supplies that are really pretty, we want to use, like as you can see, like behind me, my planners and really like fun colored pens and pencils and stuff, it makes us want to do the work. Like if you've ever been in a corporate environment where they only give you like blue pens and you only get those plain, boring, pale yellow Post-it notes, it's kind of hard to like motivate yourself and feel excited about your work. So that's why I want you, for your life, to have a fresh gratitude journal. So you can either go out and buy a fancy new gratitude journal, go to your local bookstore, if you can find a bookstore. I know a lot of them are closing, or look on Amazon or whatever. Or if you have an old notebook that you're not using right now, maybe you can put a new cover on it, get some like scrapbook paper, make it look really pretty, put some stickers, really decorate it. Or I mean, you can even use your planner and you can make a new gratitude list in one of the doc grid pages that are in here too. So create a new, fresh way for you to write down what you're grateful for. That's going to really help you feel good about where you're at this spring instead of dwelling on all of the things that didn't happen this winter. So maybe your New Year's resolutions didn't happen, or maybe you're feeling like a little bloated from eating too much, like really heavy wintry foods, or maybe you've been inside for months and you're just feeling like pasty and gross. So let's forget all the bad things that happened this winter and let's focus on the good things. So your fresh start edit for step 1 for your life is to get a fresh gratitude journal. Make sure you're taking notes on these. For your business, let's flip it over to those of you who are entrepreneurs who actually have a business and you want a fresh start in your business. So for step 1, how can we build our gratitude foundation in our businesses? Well, one way to feel grateful for what you have right now in your business, even if things aren't going well, even if you're not making enough money, even if you're feeling like really behind or you're comparing yourself to others, a way to get your gratitude back is to give something away for free. Yeah. So I want you to come up with a freebie that you can give to your subscribers. And I know sometimes that's hard for us as entrepreneurs. We want people to buy from us. We're like, hey, we got something for you. We want to earn money. This is why we started a business. And I get that. I really get that. But I've found, or for the almost 6 years that I've been running my business, is that the more I give, the more I get. So if you really want a fresh start this spring for your business and you want to connect with your followers, you want to get more subscribers, you want to feel like you're being of service to the world and to your clients, and yes, this also leads to sales because you build up that know, like, and trust factor. You know that. We talked about that in Startup in 60, which you can watch in the Clubhouse. So give something away for free. What can you give away for free? Maybe you can make a one-page PDF checklist of something that they need to know about your field, or a 5-minute video giving like a really quick tip that they can implement right away. Or maybe it's, I don't know, doing something like this, like a Facebook Live call where you just get up there and you just talk with them and you just give them you for free for a short period of time. So that's your fresh start edit for your business for step 1, is to give something away for free. You'll feel so much better. It'll help bond you with your clients and it will definitely lead to sales over time. All right, so that's step 1 for creating a gratitude foundation for your life and for your business. New gratitude journal and give something away for free. Okay, let's move on to step 2 of the life editing process, which is delete bad influences. Yes. That's where we get our pens, we cross everything out, and deleting is really, really satisfying when you're a book editor. So for those of you who are life editors, you know that it's just as satisfying. It's really great getting rid of those things that are holding us back, that are negatively affecting us. So let's talk about your fresh start edits that you can make for your life and business when it comes to deleting. So for your life, your fresh start edit is to remove all the junk food in your house. I'm looking at you, I'm looking at me, I'm looking at all of us. We've got some junk food in our house that doesn't need to be in our house. So I want you to be really, really strict with yourself and take a look in your fridge, take a look in the freezer, take a look in your pantry. I don't know if you hide candy in your desk or if your kids have all this extra junk that they don't need either, but let's get real here. The holidays are long, long over. Winter is ending. We don't need to be bundling up anymore. We don't need to be like nurturing ourselves with cookies and cakes and hot chocolate and whatever. We don't need that anymore because it's spring. And spring is all about things being fresh and I just saw Linda put there, no chocolate allowed. No chocolate. Like Easter is over. Like, come on, people. Let's really embrace the spring here. So delete the junk food in your house, and your junk food might be different from other people's junk food. So for me, like, I'll admit it, I eat the vegan Ben & Jerry's ice cream because it's so good. But it's not really doing anything for me. It kind of gives me a sugar high and then I crash and just makes me kind of feel gross afterwards. So yes, Ben & Jerry's, I love your vegan ice cream, but you know, that's not a part of my fresh start for spring. So get rid of the ice cream, get rid of the candies. If there's any foods that you keep eating even though they're not helping you, like if you have an intolerance to something, but you keep eating it because you really don't want to get rid of it, like, let's be adults here. Come on, let's start fresh. Get rid of any of the junk food that's in your house that's not really supporting you. So that is your fresh start edit for deleting for your life. So let's talk about your fresh start edit for deleting for your business. Okay. So we just cleaned out your pantry and your fridge. Let's clean out your files. So for those of you who are entrepreneurs, you have a lot of files. I have 2 big filing cabinets over there in the other corner. But I also have a ton of digital files. So I want you to go through your physical files and your digital files and clean them up. So what I want you to do is go through everything. Like start at the top of your files, just go through them alphabetically and see, is there anything in here that I don't need anymore? Or is there anything that I need to hand off to somebody else or send to somebody else that I don't need to store for them anymore? Go through like any of your client folders. Is there anything that you can clean out, anything that you don't need anymore? Of course, you're going to keep your contracts. You're going to keep all of that. You're going to keep any instructions that you might need for your employees or for you. But I notice like when I go through stuff, I find like a whole bunch of photos and things that I just don't need anymore. I'm like, why am I storing these photos or Photoshop files from like 5 years ago? Or I'm like, what am I doing with this? I don't need it. And they take up a lot of space. So go through your files, clean up anything that you can, delete whatever you can. If you need to move stuff into the cloud, do that. If you move stuff into Dropbox or Basecamp or whatever you're using, just clean up your files. You're going to feel so much better. And that's a really great deleting fresh start that you can make for your business. Got it? All right. Let's move on to step 3 of the life editing process, which is add good habits and routines. So for your life, I want you to add this fresh start edit. I want you to do a 10-minute cleanup every night. And I get it. I know, like, you have really, really busy days and you're tired by the time you get home from work. Oh, Hiromi just said, this is great for our iPhones, especially if we use it for work. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm just going to say that. Yeah, your smartphone, clean up your smartphone too. Get rid of those apps that you don't even use anymore. Like, you wouldn't believe what's like running in the background that's eating up your memory and killing your battery. Clean up your iPhones too. All right, so getting back to step 3, add good habits and routines. I want you to do a 10-minute cleanup every night for your life. That's your fresh start edit for step 3. So why are we doing a cleanup at night when you're tired? You probably ate a big dinner, you're exhausted from your kids, you're exhausted from work, you just want to go to bed. Like, you'll be lucky if you brush your teeth again. Like, I get it. I totally get it. But here's why this is your fresh start edit. There is something so wonderful, so delightful, and so like life affirming when you wake up in the morning and you look around your house and the dishes are already done, all the toys have already been put away, like the table is set for breakfast, your desk is all cleaned up, your to-do list is nicely organized right where you need it, the pens and files and stuff are all put away. It's like glorious. It is so glorious when you wake up in the morning and everything it is set up so that you can have a happy day. Oh, Linda says, I have on my nightly reflection each night is general straightening. Yes, yes. Like this is so important to just take the time to straighten up, like 10 minutes tops. You can set a timer and try to like race the clock before you go to bed. Or turn on some music. It's 3 songs. It's 3 songs. You can totally do this. This is like less time than you spend on social media or doing it at your commute or anything like that. You owe yourself 10 minutes. Like if you have time to go to the bathroom, you have time to do this. So do a 10-minute nightly cleanup, because then you're going to wake up and you're going to have that beautiful, glorious, fresh start every morning. And that's going to make your spring so much happier. It's going to make every day a little easier to get through. So I like to tell my clients that you're doing this for your future self. So whenever you catch yourself and you're like, oh, like I just don't want to do this. I'm tired. I just want to go to bed. I just want to like eat my ice cream and go to bed. I get it. But think about your future self. What could you do to make your future self happy? 10-minute nightly cleanup. So that is step 3, fresh start edit for your life. So fresh start edit for your business for step 3 for adding a good habit is to start and maintain your operations manual. So for those of you who are entrepreneurs, I definitely want you to, after you're done watching this call, is jump into the Clubhouse and watch the training video, how to make an operations manual, because that goes over so much more detail than what I'm going to talk about today. But here's the thing, keeping an operations manual, that's all of your instructions for how to do things, like how do you send invoices, or how do you upload and publish a blog post, how do you create images for social media, how do you respond to emails, do you have templates, whatever. All of that goes into your operations manual. So I want you to create a good habit of once a week, a minimum of once a week, is adding something to your operations manual. And this is actually going to lead to a fresh start down the road. Because when you're ready to hire an assistant, when you're ready to have employees, when you're ready to have people join your business, you're going to have this nice operations manual that you're going to be able to give to them so that they can like easily transition into their new roles. You're not going to have to spend days and days and weeks like training them. You're going to be able to say, oh, watch the videos for how to upload a blog post, or watch the videos for how to do an Instagram story, or whatever. You can just like show them your digital operations manual. You can also have like a printed operations manual too. But it is so important to keep adding to your operations manual, because it's going to make it easier for you to add those good habits, add those good routines in the future, if you don't have to like start from scratch and or lead someone hand-holding them the whole way through the new hire process. Okay, so that is step 3, add good habits and routines. So we got your fresh start for life is 10-minute nightly cleanup. Fresh start for your business is keep adding to your operations manual. Okay, moving on to step 4. Oh, let me just check the comments. Oh, everyone's saying hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, Janet. Hi, Christine. Okay, so moving on to step 4 of the life editing process is rearrange everything into a perfect flow. So this is all about time management. So for your life, your fresh start edit is to work with a timer. Now, I'm really big on this. Those of you who have been my clients, those of you in the academy, you know I'm like, use the timer, use the timer. And this is going to help you have a fresh start, because you're going to realize that you can get more done in less time when you use a timer. So I just use the timer app on my phone, and I set my timer for however long I think a project or something that I'm working on is going to be. So if I think it's going to take me an hour to finish a blog post, I set my timer for an hour. If I think it's going to take me 30 minutes to clean my bedroom, then I just set it for 30 minutes. And then the whole time you're racing the clock. You're trying to get done before the alarm goes off. And it gives you this underlying sense of urgency. Like, even if it's not beeping all the time, you know the timer is there. You know that it's clicking forward. Dee Dee says, OMG, a timer, a little anxiety coming up. And scary face. Yes, I know. Having a timer for those of you who have anxiety might be a little much for you, but I would say just try it. At least try it a few times, because I have people who say that, oh, they don't have time to write a blog post, they don't have time to like clean out their garage, they don't have time to spend with their family, but like if you actually set a timer and just did the work, you'll realize it doesn't take as long as you think. Like nothing like takes as long as that I think as when I'm actually focused on it and I'm not goofing off on social media and I'm not watching YouTube videos and I'm not like doing stuff that doesn't lead to my goals. So I want to try that for your fresh start, for your life, for rearranging everything. Try working with a timer. And let's say you set something for 30 minutes and it only takes you 20 minutes. Awesome. Next time you do it, set your timer for 20 minutes and try to beat that. Like try to beat your time. You're going to get more done, and then that's going to free up more of your time for other things that are really important to you, like your family or your health. Okay, so fresh start edit for your business, for your time, is to front load your days. So what do I mean by that? Those of you who have read the books Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, or What the Most Successful People Do Before Breakfast by Laura Vanderkam, you know what it means to front load your day. Every time I say that, it makes me think of like a front loading washing machine for some reason, but like, we're not doing your laundry, we're doing your business. So I noticed that with a lot of people, and me especially, that if I wait to do something in the afternoon, it doesn't happen. Because in the afternoon, we're tired, it's after lunch, we're feeling a little sleepy, and distractions come up. By the afternoon, like things will come up, like your boss will like put a big project on your desk for you to do, or someone will get sick and you got to go pick up your kid at school, or something like that. So if you wait till the afternoon thinking you're going to have time to work on something, you might not. You actually might not. So that's why I like to front load your day. I also call this the before lunch list. So what can you get done before lunch? And when you front load your day, you're putting your most important tasks first. You're doing them before the distractions of the day can get to you. So if you want to have a fresh start in your business, you want to feel revitalized, like you're actually getting stuff done, try front loading your day for a full week and see how it goes. Like literally don't leave anything to the afternoon. So I do this a lot with my business. I break it out. So I'm at my desk by 8 o'clock in the morning doing my work. And I usually try to finish my work by 11 o'clock. So that's 3 hours of really concentrated work. So I'm writing my blog posts, I'm writing my video scripts, I'm uploading stuff to my social media schedulers, I'm responding to emails, I'm like doing all of that, like quality work within those 3 hours. And then I take a nice break for lunch. I eat lunch really early. I eat lunch at 11 because I'm up by like 5 or 5:30. So I'm hungry for lunch by then. I don't know if you guys eat lunch that early. So then I eat lunch, and then from noon to 5 is when I have my client calls. So I really, like the nature of my business, I have to front load because I don't have time in the afternoon because that's when I'm doing my client calls. So think about that. Is there a way for you entrepreneurs to front load your day and do your most important tasks right away, before lunch, before the distractions? Oh, Christine says, I will use the timer to get that VFO done Saturday morning. Yes, yes, Christine's working on her VFO, and we are all supporting you. We're all very excited that it's coming soon. For those of you who don't know what a VFO is, that's your valuable free offer. That's your permission marketing that you do on your website where you say, I'll give you this cool thing if you give me your email address. So it builds trust with your ideal clients. It grows your subscriber list. So way to go, Christine. We're very glad that you're going to be working on that. Let us know if using a timer works for you. And Janet says, squirrel, squirrel. Yes, yes, this is totally like the entrepreneurial mindset. That happens to me too. Like if I wait to do my stuff in the afternoon, it's like squirrel, squirrel. Like I can't concentrate. I just can't do it. So front load your days. Okay, let me take a sip of my tea. Okay, last one. We're on step 5 of the life editing process, which is make white space for personal self-care. So your fresh start life edit is to paint your nails. Yeah, this is really, really simple, and it feels kind of like, but we're talking about self-care, and white space is a publishing term that literally means the white space on a printed page, and it gives the reader's eyes a place to rest. So for your life, your white space is the good self-care that you can do for yourself. So I want you to paint your nails. And honestly, I'm pretty bad at this. I haven't painted my nails in a couple weeks since Life Editor Weekend. I have my nails painted for that because that was important, but I don't have my nails painted right now. But the reason this is a fresh start for you is that if you want to paint your nails or wear a fun ring or wear a bracelet or something small and special, but have it on you all day long, maybe that's like some really fun earrings or like a watch or I don't even know, a sticker or something. But having something cute and fun on you is going to give you some energy. It's going to be like a sweet little surprise just for you. I know that on the days when I do my nails and I'm typing and I'm like, oh, look, my nails look so nice today. It's just something that lets me know that I'm taking care of myself. So even if I'm getting stressed out by the emotional labor of being a coach, or if I'm getting stressed out because my house needs to be cleaned or whatever, I can feel like, okay, I've done a little something for me. So maybe for you, it's just putting on your favorite bracelet or your favorite ring. It's just a little something to remind yourself like, hey, I'm a human being. I deserve love and self-care too. So that's your fresh start for step 5 for your life. Your fresh start for step 5 for your business is to do something imperfectly. And this is the part of self-care or white space that people forget about. Like, yes, I want you to do the self-care, the reading and the bubble baths and all of that stuff too. But also it's about being kind to yourself and giving yourself permission to have flaws, to be a human being. So I want you, for spring, your fresh start is to do something imperfectly in your business. So maybe that's recording a video, even if you're not like feeling so good about how you look. Or even if you don't have like the perfect background or whatever. I mean, I know I'm in like a really fun background today, but there's plenty of videos that I recorded where there's nothing behind me and there's just like a blank wall. Do it anyway because your followers want the information. That's what they want. They just want the information. Whatever it is you're telling them, whether you're a coach and you're helping them be more motivated, or if you're helping them eat right, or if you're helping them pair their jewelry with their outfits, or whatever it is, or if you're helping them like design images that like bring out their branding, whatever. They just want the information. They just want the information. So nobody else is looking at your flaws. Nobody else really cares. So just get that good information out there. Do something imperfectly in your business. So I mean, I just got my hair cut, but sometimes my hair looks a little goofy. I don't know. And that's because I straighten my hair. My hair is actually wavy. so sometimes I do my hair and I'm like still not liking my hair, but I do my videos anyway. I get on these calls anyway. So what can you do imperfectly? Like Janet says it's version 1.0. Yeah, do something imperfecly. I've sent emails and then I've gotten responses from people saying, hey, do you know there's a typo in your email? Oh well, sometimes you just have to let it go. So do something imperfectly in your business. And maybe that's doing something like we talked about earlier, giving a freebie for your clients. Can you still be of service to your clients even if you have to like be your human self? Like that's what they want. They want you. They don't really want all of the flashy neon lights. So that is your fresh start edit for step 5 for your business. Should we recap? I think we're gonna recap. Oh, Janet also says, love that idea. My nails definitely need painting. I need to paint my nails too. So if you'd like to let me know in the comments what color I should paint my nails for spring, I would love, would love to know, and I will take that under advisement. So, okay, let's recap. So this is your spring cleaning, fresh start plan for your life and your business. So make sure you're taking notes. For step 1 of the life editing process, create a gratitude foundation. For your life, you're going to get a fresh gratitude journal or update an old notebook that you have and make it look nice and pretty. So you have a new way to write down all of your gratitudes. For your business, you're going to give something away for free. So a new checklist, a new worksheet, a 5-minute video, a free call, something. You're going to give something away for free. For step 2, delete bad influences. For your life, you're going to remove the junk food from your house. Just get rid of it. For your business, you're going to clean up your files. Yeah. Your physical files and your electronic files. Do both of those. For step 3, add good habits and routines. For your life, you're going to do a 10-minute nighttime cleanup. And for your business, you're going to start and keep adding to your operations manual. For step 4, rearrange everything into a perfect flow. For your life, you're going to work with a timer. Do it. Do it. Like, just use the timer on your phone, or if you've got a timer in your kitchen, whatever. Try it. Just try it for a week and see if you're getting faster. I bet it's not going to take you as long to get things done when you know you have that underlying sense of urgency pushing you forward. For your business, you're going to front load your day so you can avoid all of those distractions and things that go wrong in the afternoon. And then for step 5, make white space for personal self-care. For your life, you're going to paint your nails or wear a bracelet or wear a ring. Do something small and nice for yourself to show that you're actually caring for yourself, even if it's on a small level. And for your business, you're going to do something imperfectly. So record that video, get it out there, send that email, like do your best about typos and grammar, but you're not going to catch everything. I'm a book editor and I don't catch everything. So do something imperfectly, get the information out there, and be of service. Okay, so I hope you like that fresh start spring cleaning plan for you. I hope you took notes. Now, I'm going to answer some of your questions. So if you have a question during the call, please type it in the comment box and I will answer it on the call. If you're watching this later, put your question in the comment and I will come back and answer them anyway. So I always get questions about what am I reading? So let me show you. I'm actually listening to an audiobook right now. This one. It's This Messy, Magnificent Life. I don't know if you can see that. So it's This Messy, Magnificent Life. I'm listening to that. It's by Janine Roth. And those of you who are in the Life Editor Clubhouse, you know what I'm talking about because we just finished reading Women, Food, and God by Janine Roth, which was one of her very, very popular books. This is her new one. So This Magnificent Life is all about being imperfect on your weight journey, whatever that might be for you. And it's her new book. Yeah, it just came out. And I'm listening to the audiobook because I really like hearing Janine Roth read her own book. She's got a great voice. I also like it when Martha Beck reads her own books, but she doesn't read all of her own books. So you have to look for the ones where it says it's actually read by the author. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying that. So I recommend that book too. I'm also reading, I'm actually rereading a bunch of books. I'm rereading Listful Thinking because this is the Platinum book for my Platinum Life Editor Academy members. It's all about different lists for productivity, for fun, for just being a more organized you. Yeah, I really, really like Listful Thinking. It's a great planning type book. This is by Paula Rizzo. Then I'm also rereading The 5-Hour Workday by Stefan Erstol. I hope I said that right. So like I said, I'm usually really good about front loading my day, just like 3 hours of concentrated work in the morning, but sometimes it starts slipping. It kind of slipped a little bit after Life Editor Weekend. I had a little trouble like getting back into my groove, but I think I'm there now. This book is definitely helping because it's all about shortening and tightening up your work day so things don't expand to the time that you give it. Like, you know, if you give yourself 8 hours to do something, you'll take the full 8 hours to do it. So I really like the idea of having shorter, more concentrated work days. So that's a great book. And then also, I am rereading Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Love Elizabeth Gilbert. You guys know she's the author of Eat, Pray, Love. And this came out actually a few years ago, and I read it a few years ago. But here's the thing. I don't think I really got much out of it a few years ago. I kind of like, I don't know. I don't remember any really big takeaways from this book. You know, like sometimes that you read a book and like, oh my goodness, that idea just is going to stick with me for the rest of my life. This book, I read it and it was kind of forgettable. That sounds horrible because I love Elizabeth Gilbert. So that's why I'm rereading this one. I'm going to go a little bit slower. I'm going to see if I can take any notes and get any like good takeaways from this book because I didn't really get anything out of it last time. So we will see. I wonder about you. Do you guys reread your books? Because I have like 2 bookcases full of books over here, and I reread my books all the time. I'm constantly buying new books too, but I really like rereading books because I always get something out of it the next time that I read it. There's always something new that I find in my books, and it's kind of like the life editing process. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it, and the more you're going to see. You're going to go to a deeper level every time you do it. So I do recommend rereading your books and absolutely going through the life editing process more than once. I've actually got my lemon tea today. I drink a lot of lemon tea because I'm talking all the time. So I always have to like be really good to my voice. Okay. Oh, Christine says, I started rereading the audio book of Joy and it's even better. Awesome. And Hiromi says, yes, all the time. So yes, reread your books, people. Okay, we're going to move on to questions. I had a question that was emailed to me beforehand, so I'm going to take a moment to answer that now. And I think this one really fits into our spring cleaning theme that we have going on this month. So I think this is a really good one. Okay, so this is from Anonymous. And Anonymous says, I feel like I'm spreading myself too thin and it's affecting my emotions. I go through the life editing process, create a foundation, but I have the hardest time deleting. Not deleting clutter. I love deleting clutter now, but deleting work stuff and work projects. I feel if I don't do it, all this on top of everything else I have to do, like household chores, I'm not going to achieve my goals or get anywhere. Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting my time, but a little something inside me says to keep going. What's your advice? Yes. Okay, so this is a huge question, and I hear this worded in various ways a lot. So the question is, how do I delete bad influences at work? So I know it's like, people love deleting bad influences. Like, yeah, this pen has no ink in it. It's out of here. Like, I'm done with this notebook. It's gone. These files, they're gone. Like, it's so easy for us, generally, to delete bad influences in our lives. It's a little harder at work. And there's a lot of things involved because we've got managers. We've got paychecks that we need to keep getting. There's a lot of expectations on us at work, so it feels like we don't have as much autonomy to make choices that it could be beneficial to us because we're working for another company or even for your own business. There's other people involved. So this goes along with step 2 of the life editing process, delete bad influences. So here's my advice for how you can delete your bad influences at work without getting yourself fired or losing your paycheck or any of that good stuff. Okay, so first, number 1, I want you to figure out what are your bad influences at work. Like, get really, really clear about what the problem is at work. So if you have gone through Life Editing for Beginners, there's a great checklist in there for figuring out what your bad influences are. So log into lifeeditorclubhouse.com, click on Life Editing for Beginners, and take a look at that worksheet. And basically, the bad influences is anything that drains your energy, anything that frustrates you, anything that makes you angry, anything that's not your responsibility, but somehow you got roped into doing it. and you don't like it. Another great way is to figure out what your bad influences is anything that makes you feel like the worst version of yourself. Like, is there anyone at work that you hang out with and after you're done talking with them, you just feel like the worst version of you? Or you're doing some kind of project and you're like, I can't believe that this is what my life has led to, is doing this thing over and over again forever. For me, when I was in publishing, it was doing permissions. For those of you who are in the publishing world, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's when we want to like reprint an image or a graph or something from another publisher. And I have to go ask the other publisher, hey, can we get permission to reprint that? And we have to sign all these permission forms. And sometimes we have to pay money and go back and forth. And I hated that. I was really, really good at permissions, but I hated doing permissions. And I did that for years when I was in publishing. So that was like, every time I had to do that, I felt like the worst version of me. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this. So let's identify what your bad influences are. I have another worksheet I want you to try to get clear about your bad influences. And there is a free one. If you log into lifeeditorclubhouse.com and you click on the Editor's Toolkit, my free Editor's Toolkit, or you go to sagegrayson.com and click on free stuff and you'll get it there. It's called the Not To-Do List. There's actually a copy of it here in your planners. So the Not To-Do List is a really great way to get clear on your bad influences at work. So do the Not To-Do List for your work. So you're going to answer these prompts. So like things that you want to stop doing, things that you don't like putting on your plate or that make your plate too full. Like your responsibilities are fine, but when so-and-so dumps all of her responsibilities onto you, then it's too much. Things that are not your responsibility, things that need to be delegated, yeah, things that you feel guilted into taking on, things that actually don't need to get done. You would not believe how many like weird processes and weird like things you have to do. Maybe you would understand. I was in corporate for 10 years and there was always like stuff, like weird stuff that we had to do, like, oh, and then you have to send an email here, and then you have to make a photocopy here, and you have to put it in this file. And I'm like, but why do we do that? Like, nobody's checking in on that. I remember there was like a whole file folder full of like photocopied old articles that no one would ever check on, and we never ever needed because we always had them digitally. And I'm like, well, why are we doing this? There was just all sorts of like weird stuff that you do in a corporate environment that sometimes maybe it did make sense 3 years ago, 4 years ago, but it doesn't make sense anymore. So you don't need to keep doing it. Or if the role has changed, if your position has changed, and maybe you're doing something that doesn't even make sense for your new responsibilities. Yeah, so anything that drains your energy, anything that makes you feel bad about yourself, anything that's out of your control, but you're trying to control it somehow. Those are all your bad influences at work. So that is part one, is to figure out what your bad influences are at work. What needs to be deleted? Part two is, okay, so once you've identified the things at work that are not going well, that are really harming you, you can either delete them or create a boundary. I get it. Like sometimes we can't delete everything. Like we can't delete that coworker we don't like working with, or we can't delete all of our projects. We might be able to delegate some of them or reduce some of them, but we can't get rid of everything. So first of all, when you're deleting something, I want you to delete these things. So like we said, okay, so here we go. These are things you can delete at work that you need to look for. And when you find these things, you're going to feel really good deleting them completely removing them from your work. So first is things that don't need to get done now. We try to take too much stuff on. We try to put too much on our plate. So I get it. You probably have a lot of responsibilities at work. You have a lot of things you want to do, or for your own business. Yeah, even for your own business, you want to do a million things. You want to write a book. You want to host a workshop. You want to tour the world. You want to do whatever, sell a big product. I get it, but do you have to do it right now? So delete anything that doesn't need to get done right now. For those of you who are in Life Editor Academy, you know we're really strict about working on our 12-week plans. We only work in 12-week increments, so we can really narrow our focus just to the priorities that are important now, rather than spreading ourselves too thin by taking on too much. Like, I don't want you to do 100 things kind of halfway. I want you to do 2 to 5 things like at 100%. So first, delete things that don't need to get done right now. You can come back to them, but not right now. Next, delete things that don't support your goals. What things don't support your goals? So if you're an entrepreneur, anything at work in your business that's not supporting your goals. So anything that doesn't directly lead to money, because if you're an entrepreneur, I bet one of your goals is to earn money. Like, you wouldn't have a business if you didn't want to earn money. Or maybe it's serving a certain section of people. Like for me, I deleted taking on men as clients. I don't take on men as clients anymore. I only work with women because I get the best results from women, because I share a lot of the same experiences with women, and I'm a better coach when I'm coaching women. So that's one thing that I had to delete from my business. So that didn't support my goal of actually helping the people and uplifting the people that I wanted to work with. So what about at work? Is there any kind of goal that you have? Like, maybe your boss has like a big goal for your department, but you're doing all of these random admin things that don't actually lead to that goal that your boss set. Those are things that you need to delete from your work. And the final thing to delete are things that are other people's problems. Oh yeah! Those of you who are alums from Life Editing for Beginners, you know OPP, other people's problems. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Life Editing for Beginners. Take a look in the deleting section. So you're going to delete things that are other people's problems. So anything that really is not yours to take on. So if you got roped into doing another coworker's assignments, but it's really not part of your job and you can't do that anymore, give it back. You can delete that. If you're doing any admin tasks that your department assistant can do, like, pass that along to the assistant. Like, give the intern something to do. You would not believe like that how many publishing houses I went to, and like the interns would be sitting there like making paper clip chains because they have nothing to do, because everyone like was taking on too much and not giving anything to the intern. Like, can you delete something that is really other people's problems, that is not your genius zone, that is not your part of your work. So those are things to delete. Then, if you can't delete something, how can we put a boundary on it? And here are some things at work that you can put a boundary around. So your work hours. Yeah. If you are not putting a boundary around your work hours, you must do that like yesterday. You must do that as soon as humanly possible, is put a boundary around your work hours. So whatever your work hours are, there should be some kind of boundary where I'm clocking in here and I'm clocking out here. And keep that really sacred, because you need time to spend with your family or your kids, your spouse, or yourself. Yeah. I hear people say that they don't have any time for self-care, but that's because they're working to 8 or 9 o'clock at night, or they're working all weekend long and they never have a day off. Like, what are you doing? You're filling up all of your time because you don't have firm boundaries around your work. So even I do that. I start at 8 and I'm done by 5 every day because I need like time in the morning to do my self-care. I need time in the evening to spend with my husband and my dog. Like, that's important. So create some sacred personal hours by creating these really strong boundaries around your work hours. Taking on more tasks than you can actually handle. Yeah, so you need to put a boundary, and this is for you and this is for your manager. Because I know a lot of managers like to just keep dumping stuff on their employees. Oh, they could do that. Let's see if they can do this too. And I get it. You want to empower your employees to do work, but there's got to be some kind of a limit. So whenever somebody, when I was back in corporate and somebody would hand me a project to do, I would tell my manager, okay, oh, I was working on project A, but now you want me to do project B, which will take away time from project A. How do you want me to handle this? I can only do one at a time. If I do project B, I won't be able to finish project A by the deadline. What do you want me to do? So put it back on them. Explain to them, like, I can only take on so much work. I'm only one person. If I do this new thing that you're asking me to do, I won't be able to do this other thing that I'm doing. And let them tell you the priorities. Like, more often than not, they would take away that extra like task and be like, oh, sorry, I didn't know, finish up that first thing. Or sometimes they would tell me, oh, that first project, it's not important anymore. Do this one first. And that was great. At least I knew where my priorities were. At least I could shift my focus and not feel bad about that. So put a boundary on taking around on too many tasks. I have to do that for my business too. I have a certain number of clients that I can take on before I go a little nuts. that's a technical term. Yeah. So I have a number of clients that I can take on. And once I hit that number, then I start a wait list. And when I have a wait list going, it happens every so often. When I have a wait list going, those people who want to work with me, they have to wait until I have one client graduate and then there's a free space, or until the next time I'm running like the program, like the academy, and then they can sign up then. I have to be really strict with that because there was definitely a time, maybe 2.5 years ago, where things were getting really nutty and I was just taking on way too many clients, and I wasn't having time for all of my other things, like especially my self-care or my family. So it was a little too much. So I had to put that boundary around how many clients I can take on. So think about that for yourself. Where is your limit? Where is your boundary in terms of work that you can handle during the day, in terms of number of clients too, or different projects? And then finally, a boundary around your annoying coworkers. Yes. I know, like, if you work with other people, you are bound to have annoying coworkers. They're gonna come over and start chit-chatting with you, start messing with stuff on your desk, or like interrupt you when you're like in your groove, or they're really loud, you can hear them from all the way across the floor, or whatever, or they're just being disrespectful, they're taking the conference room when you had it reserved, whatever. Okay, so for annoying coworkers, a great way to put a boundary is to like establish this up front. And you can still do this even if they're already annoying you, but like, let's teach people how to treat us right from the beginning. So maybe you can put something outside your cubicle or outside your office if you have it that says like, do not interrupt from 9 to 11 every morning, and then close the door and lock it. Or if all you got is a little desk, like put up that sign, don't interrupt me from 9 to 11. Like really state your hours that you need to focus on. And if anyone comes over during that time, point to the sign and be like, no, I can't do that right now. I've got to get this thing done. Come to me later. And you'll train them to not annoy you during those times. That's front loading your day, remember? Keep those hours sacred. Keep those special so you can get your work done. If you're an entrepreneur and you work at home, maybe that's like not answering the door, turning off your phone, so you don't get interrupted during the day with your phone constantly ringing or people coming to the door. I just said this in one of the bonus materials for the Academy. I was recording a video for them, and I talked about how as soon as we put up no solicitor signs on our door, like, whoa, like it totally transformed my workday, because now I don't have people ringing the doorbell trying to like give me an estimate on fixing the roof or trying to get me to go to their church or whatever. It's like, get all those solicitors gone. So that was a way I put a boundary around my work hours. So now we don't have solicitors coming anymore, which is amazing. So think about that. How can you create a boundary around those annoying coworkers and keep them away? Whether it's a sign that says, I gotta work during these hours, whether it's taking yourself to a conference room and working to get away from them, or maybe it's just telling them like, hey, so-and-so, I can't talk to you until after lunch. And just be really firm about that. And you're gonna have to do it a few times, but we teach people how to treat us, and you can train your annoying coworkers to respect your boundaries. Okay, so as we're going through how to delete bad influences at work, first, we figured out what your bad influences are. Then we figured out, can you delete them or create a boundary? And then let me go into why it's so important for you to delete your bad influences. Oh, Hiromi says she turned off all notifications on her phone. Yes, I don't get any notifications on my phone either. And you really, really should cut back or not get any of them, because it's a huge time waster. It's a huge invasion of your boundaries when you're trying to work. Okay, so here is why it's so important to delete bad influences at work. So for those of you who are really good at deleting the clutter and cleaning up your life stuff, this one's for you. You've got to delete stuff at work too. Here's why. When you delete the bad influences at work, you're not going to feel so resentful at work. It's not going to be so difficult for you to go to work anymore. You're going to feel more joyful when you're there, when you're sitting in your cubicle, when you're doing whatever it is that you do for work. You're going to be kinder and more compassionate to your customers who come up and ask you dumb questions. You're going to be more respectful at work. You're going to feel proud to be there when you delete those bad influences. I can say for me, from my personal experience, I've told you guys this before, but I used to have a really, really bad job that was so horrible that I was getting violently sick on the drive to work every day for months on end. I'm not even kidding. It was so gross. Let's not go there. But when I started creating boundaries in work, because I couldn't delete the job because I needed that paycheck, and I was waiting to hear from another job to see if I got that one. So I had to stay there for a little while. But I created boundaries, and it really transformed my work. I stopped getting sick in the morning. I started feeling more hopeful, and I actually started having a little fun because I started working with different people in the office. But one of the boundaries that I did is that I worked with headphones. And I would put on my headphones and I would listen to like calming Zen type music all day long. That sounds really, really funny, but like, oh my goodness, you were not even there. So you don't know how terrible it was every day for me to be around those people. Even just hearing their voices or listening to them walk by my cubicle. It wasn't even like a cubicle. There were only 3 walls. So it was 3 walls, and then the whole back was open. So like, there was no privacy at all. It was just like, it was horrible. So I would put on my earphones and I would listen to my chill out music over and over and over again just to get through the day. But that was my boundary. So I didn't have to listen to anyone anymore. I could just chill out and work. I also made a boundary where I went and I ate in the break room away from everyone too, just to give myself a little bit of peace during the day. I would also do breathing exercises in the bathroom just to like calm myself down too. And I made it a point to be friendly with people in other departments away from my nasty department. So that was one thing that I did. I created boundaries at work, and it lifted me up and made me a lot more happy for the last few months that I was at that job until I got my dream job, my dream publishing job. So that's something to think about. That's why you need to delete or create boundaries, because it'll make it a lot easier for you to get through the days at your job or for your business if you're having trouble with your business too. The second thing is you're going to have more energy after work. Yeah. So if you're not leaving your job feeling completely depleted, completely wrung out, you're going to feel so much better on the drive home or coming back to your family or whatever it is. You're going to be happier when your kids greet you at the end of the day. You're going to have more patience and respect for your spouse. You're going to have more energy to be like, hey, I will do a load of laundry because I'm not so worn out after my work day. You're going to like do things like go for a walk with your family, or you'll come home and be like, I'm going to read that new book because I feel good. I don't have to go to sleep right now because I'm exhausted. I feel like good enough to do things for me. So yeah, by creating boundaries and deleting bad things at work, it's going to help you after work. Like you, the person you, with your real life is going to be so much better. Like, can you imagine feeling like you can indulge in your hobbies and be creative on the weekends rather than working overtime or being so mad, like dreading Monday so much that your whole Sunday is wrecked? Like, I know that feeling. I definitely know that feeling. That Sunday bummer feeling where you're just dreading the work week. Imagine not having that, having like a glorious, happy Sunday because you're so excited and you don't have all those problems at work anymore. And then finally, the final reason why you must delete your bad influences at work is because it leads directly to the next step of the life editing process. Once you delete those bad influences, then you can start adding good habits and routines. You know this because I've said it a million times. You can't stack good habits, good routines, good intentions on top of a big old mess. So if your work is driving you nuts, if your business is driving you nuts, it's not helping. You can't just try to stack good intentions like I'm gonna go to the gym every day, or I'm gonna make new friends. That's not gonna work if the rest of everything is really bad. If you still got bad influences, it's not gonna work. Clean them up first, and then you're gonna be able to add those good habits. So the things that you've wanted to do but you haven't been able to get them to stick, it's gonna be easier when you delete those bad influences at your work. All right? Okay, so Anonymous, I hope this gave you a plan to follow. Figure out what your bad influences are, delete them or create boundaries. And one more time, so for deleting, you're going to delete things that don't need to get done right now. You can hold them for later. Things that don't support your specific goals, and delete things that are other people's problems, the OPP. And then you're going to create boundaries around your work hours, boundaries around taking on so many tasks, so figure out what your limit is and stick to it. And then you're also going to create boundaries around annoying coworkers. And then why are you doing this? You're doing it so you're not resentful at work and you'll be happier during your workday, and you're doing it so you have more energy later, being a better person, a better wife, a better mom, a better friend to everyone else. And you can't move on to step 3 until you delete. That's why we do our life editing process. That's why we follow the circle around and around and around. Okay, so if you liked this call today, I have some great resources for you if you want to keep your life editing going. So I want you to log into lifeeditorclubhouse.com, and I want you to take a look at some of the life and business classes, specifically the ones for deleting bad influences. And when you log in, click on life classes. You'll see I have separated them, the deleting bad influences. I've separated by the steps of the life editing process so you can find them easily. Also, jump into the business classes and check out the creating an operations manual class. Take a look at that one. Also go through Startup in 60. That's going to have a lot of great information for those of you who are struggling and kind of need a fresh start in your business. That's a great place to start. Those of you who need a fresh start in your life, you're going to go into the life classes and check out Life Editing for Beginners. That's really the perfect class. It's a 5-week program, and it's got really deep dive into each step of the life editing process. Really good worksheets for you to help guide you on your life editing journey. So check those out. Again, that's lifeeditorclubhouse.com. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed today's class. We went over how you can spring clean your life and business, because I want you to have a fresh start. If you didn't get all that information, rewatch this class. I'm going to upload it to the Connect section of the lifeeditorclubhouse.com so you can watch this again later. I'll also add it to my YouTube channel. If you're not following me on YouTube, you really should, because I've got more than 160 videos on YouTube. I know, I couldn't believe that the other day. I looked, I'm like, whoa, I got 160 videos on YouTube. So if you're not following me on YouTube, please do. I will leave the link somewhere around here. All right, we're at the end of the call. If I haven't answered your question or you came in late, type your question into the comments box and I will be coming back and answering your questions. All right. Happy spring, everybody. I hope that your fresh start is just around the corner and you can get there by doing your life editing. All right, thanks for being here. I'll talk to you soon.